Good morning, everybody. This is Scott with NTConnections. I'm talking to you from right outside of the Washington, D.C. area. And one of the things that I want to talk to you today about was the idea of using backups for your personal data. There's a couple of key things that you need to be aware of when you're thinking about backups. One of them is, what is the important information that you want to back up and what's really not that important? Let me give you a couple of examples. That important document that you've been writing, some policies that you've been working on, maybe a proposal you've been working on, of course, those you want to back up. Those are backups. Those are things that you want to back up to the cloud. There's other types of files that maybe you don't necessarily need backed up to the cloud. For example, some music files. Those really aren't necessarily that important to be backed up all the time. You can probably re-download those from the cloud. Secondly, maybe video files. You've taken some videos, maybe such as this video, and you just don't need to keep it forever. So these are things that you want to consider when you're looking at backups. And the reason you want to consider this is because it's the amount that you're going to be paying for the cloud storage for those backups. So think about how much it is that you want to pay, think about the solution that you need. Secondly, let's talk about the retention. How long do you want to keep this data for? Is it okay to keep this data for just a week? Do you need maybe a month, maybe a year? What is the length of time or the retention that is important to you? So think about the amount of time that you want to keep things. What is the probability of you accidentally deleting something that's really old and you need to go back and get it? Those are all things that play into the retention period. And again, the longer you retain it, the more you're going to pay for that extra data being stored. Thirdly, let's talk about the recovery period. When you're looking at the recovery period, really what you're talking about is how long is it going to take you to get your data back? So let's say that your laptop has crashed completely and you really needed that proposal. There's a couple of options if it's in the cloud. One is that you might be able to log into the cloud and download that file directly from the cloud, and therefore you're set. Another might be that you have to download the entire file and folder structure to your computer before you're even capable of using it. If that's the case, then you need to recognize it's going to take you longer to get to your backed up data. So considering backup solutions, look to see if how quickly can you get to your data. In some cases, you might be able to get to your data just by going straight to the cloud. Others, you might actually have to download it. And finally, and of course, security. Security matters. Security is very important because you want to make sure that your data, when it's in transit from your computer to the backup solution, as well as when it's sitting on the backup solution servers, that it is encrypted. So while in transit and at rest, you want to make sure that your data is always encrypted. Make sure when you're looking at the different backup solutions that you're finding solutions that meet today's compliance requirements. Compliance requirements such as FIPS, and that they're encrypted with 256-bit encryption or greater. Look at the reviews online and determine whether they've been compromised in any way, shape, or form. But take those four things into consideration. What data do you really want to make sure is backed up? What is the retention period? How long do you want to keep it? What is the period of recovery? How long will it take you to get your data back? And do they have proper security? Feel free to check out our blogs on NTConnections.net and find much more about these different backup solutions. We offer a variety of solutions, but there's a lot of other information out there for you.